There are over 6 billion people in the world. 40% lack access to proper sanitation, and 50% are living on less than $2 a day. The Hill Tribe people in northern Thailand continue to struggle with poverty, lacking many basic resources for healthy living, such as clean water and proper medical care. ITDP, the Integrated Tribal Development Program, was created with a singular goal at heart: to bring people out of poverty by meeting their physical and spiritual needs. Based in Chiang Mai, Thailand, ITDP targets the resource-poor ethnic minorities living in Thailand, Burma, and China.
In many of these areas, they used to grow opium, and they're looking at other cash crops, and we've been able to, and through the government and the King's Project, a lot of projects have been able to come in and help them reduce planting opium. But what we're seeing now is opium production increasing here in the north. And that just kind of confirms that we're in the right place.
ITDP provides economic, social, and health benefits to the villages through several programs such as water resource and sanitation, agriculture extension and marketing, education and social development, and Thai tribal Arabica coffee. The Water Resource and Sanitation Program centers around bringing clean water for drinking, irrigation, and gardening. Prior to the establishment of this program, the infant mortality rate was approximately 50% due to waterborne diseases. Now, with clean water, the quality of life has increased significantly in the villages.
So some years ago, we built this water system, and it's from a water source that's several miles away, and the water is in a filtration system of sand, rocks, and charcoal. And the water comes down, and we built this large storage tank right here, and then later in we were able to get these other plastic tanks here. And then from here it goes down to the village, and there's these faucets every 5 or 6 households. So now they just walk to those faucets.
The Agriculture and Microenterprise Program provides families with funds and proper education in agriculture and other businesses that can enable them to be self-reliant.
We looked at all kinds of cash crops. We looked at local crops that they were growing, lychee and longan, and different kinds of fruit trees, and looking at different legumes and beans that we can introduce that would add fertilizer to the soil organically so that they wouldn't have to use chemical fertilizers outside. So we started working with groups and setting a revolving fund and doing credit schemes and doing microcredit and starting a credit union, a small credit union where they could borrow funds to start some kind of occupation, whether it was in agriculture or starting a village store, a small co-op.
Many of the villages are in remote areas without access to schools or medical clinics. The Education and Social Development Program assists in constructing schools, hiring teachers, and purchasing equipment and supplies. In addition, it helps villagers obtain citizenship so they can further their education and better enter Thai society. Medical clinics are also established to provide basic health care. To further fund this program, child sponsorships have been created that will help provide food for the students, as well as materials and supplies for the schools and medical clinics.
Our vision is that on top of this hill we'll also have a church where people from each of these villages, there's villages on the other side of that mountain that are walking long distances to the school. We have a couple students that are walking an hour to the school. So the vision is to have a church here where, as a community, that they can go and worship.
The Thai Tribal Highland Arabica Coffee Project teaches villagers how to micro-enterprise through the farming of coffee, freeing the villagers from the pressures of producing opium. Coffee is roasted and sold through Lana Cafe as well as local and international markets such as Starbucks, Unicafe, and Bon Cafe. Because of the success of ITDP, the Hill tribes now have an alternative to the lifestyle they had resorted to in the past, selling their children into prostitution, selling drugs, and committing crimes. These programs have drastically improved the quality of life in these villages, and most importantly, have brought the love of Christ to thousands.
I truly believe that development without Christ is not sustainable.